Fresh from the SADC Industrialization Week, government has ordered the Industry Ministry to come up with a reconstruction growth plan for a rebirth of the country's industry. Minister Mangaliso Ndlovu revealed on Tuesday after the cabinet meeting. The call comes at a time when top officials at the SADC Industrialization Week had also highlighted that it was still increasingly difficult to do business in a number of countries in the region, including Zimbabwe.
Last week we had a presentation on the state of industry, where we really took a laser scan of where our industry, particularly the manufacturing sector, is, as well as some of the opportunities that are there, which we will then focus on. And then Cabinet directed that before the end of this month, August, we should have presented to Cabinet the Industrial Reconstruction and Growth Plan, which is a transitional plan that we will implement between now and the end of next year, so that starting in 2026, we have an aligned industrial development policy with NDS2. So within the Reconstruction and Growth Plan, we will be looking at some of the issues that are constraining the growth of industry or ease of doing business, which was discussed at length today, where you will have only one license being issued by central government and one license being issued by local authority, as opposed to the multiplicity of licenses that are currently obtaining.
We now cross over to industrialist Denford Mutashu to discuss more on the ease of doing business in Zimbabwe. Good evening, Denford. In coming up with the said industrial reconstruction growth plan, how should the plan address the issues of bureaucracy in the region?
There is a greater need for policy consistency. In the country has introduced its own currency, the ZiG. We should continuously ensure that the framework around which the ZiG is operating is enabling doing business in the country. The issues of the exchange rate stability is key, inflation stability is key, but currently I should believe that there are some supply chain glitches, especially in the manufacturing sector, going down to the retail and the wholesale sector, which currently may not necessarily be allowing manufacturers to accept the ZiG as much as they should, because there are some concerns that they are not able to go to their banks and get the sufficient foreign currency that they require.
Perhaps as follow-up to that, since the plan is set to be transitional in the long term, what are the issues to consider thereat?
Yes, indeed. Industrial reconstruction growth plan is actually quite indicative, and the wisdom by His Excellency, I think, is quite alive to a number of companies that are actually lying idle, especially if you industrial space that is lying idle, and it is something that is certainly very key. And even some of our local companies, they need a lot of retooling for them to improve efficiencies, and there is need for cheaper financing that is quite attractive, that is accessible towards such retooling across the supply chain. This will definitely enable improvement around competitiveness.
Right, and lastly, what are some of the bottlenecks that have often hindered industrial growth from a legal perspective, I would ask?
So it is an area that require a lot of introspection to ensure that the supply chain disruptions and bottlenecks that are currently existing are actually resolved. The ease and the cost of doing business, comparatively, it's something that also is got to be addressed, especially now that if you compare our exports into our export destination, you may discover that some of our products may still not be quite competitive. So the issue of competitiveness is actually tied to the issue of cost and ease of doing business. Some of the issues, some of the challenges are structural. The issues to do with bureaucracy, the issues to do with too many licenses that are required for someone to start up, and even the cost of those licenses, like the ZIDA license, it is also something that is got to be revised or reviewed